Hey everyone, it's Stephen. So I've been thinking about dark energy. There's been some a new paper, a new study, a new idea came out that says that the idea of dark energy is based upon a cosmological constant. If we look at the expansion of the universe, which is defined by the cosmological constant in Einstein's equations, we run into a problem because with fine measurement we see that the universe appears to be expanding at an increasing rate. So there's some sort of force of expansion that is completely unknown, completely unexplained, doesn't have any room in any of our theories about general relativity or special relativity. It doesn't fit, so we just kind of make it up and we add it, but we have to because our observations declare it to be true. But there's a little fly in the ointment there, is the equations that say it must be true are all saying that the universe is homogeneous, that the spread of matter through space is nearly homogeneous, and we have that idea because the background radiation from the Big Bang that we've been looking at for I don't know, 70 or 80 years, a long time. The background radiation is very evenly distributed. So if the conditions at the Big Bang were fairly evenly distributed, then therefore the conditions today must be evenly distributed given the laws of physics. And so if we assume that and we look at the observations of the expansion of the universe, it appears as though the expansion is increasing for some unknown reason that doesn't have to do with anything that we know. However, we now know, and I think the evidence is growing because of the space telescopes that we have. They show that there is a very uneven distribution of matter in the universe, and there's pockets of large amounts of matter, and there's pockets of relatively none. And by pockets, I mean vast regions, a billion light years, huge regions of space, billions of light years in their measurement, that have overabundant matter, and a billion years of light years that have almost no matter. And so I think probably more evidence from the James Webb telescope that's up now, and well, there's a bunch that have gone up. But I think the just how non-homogeneous the distribution of matter is causing to rethink this idea that that the universe has an even distribution, and therefore the expansion rate is unexplained. Because if you take those regions of large amount of matter farther away, if you take that into account, the non-homogeneity and the distribution of matter, that suddenly you have a good explanation as to why the cosmological constant is increasing over time. And it's because there's more matter much farther away from us than there is near us. And so there's sort of what appears to be a pull into the edge of the universe, but actually it's just a pull into matter that's really far away due to this non-homogeneity. So that's pretty good, and I like that idea in a theological way as well, because a completely homogeneous, inactive, God is not doesn't seem to fit with the way that we think of God. We want a peaceful God, but we want an active God, right? We want a dispassionate in terms of emotion, but we want an activity in terms of salvation, or in terms of regulating the progress of the universe as a means towards our eventual salvation. So So I'm kind of liking this, that there's not some negative pressure expanding the universe, some unknown thing about God that is pulling us into dispersion and eventual heat death, right, of the universe. But that it's just that there's regions of higher activity and regions of lower activity, and God has activity, and that activity is non-homogeneous, because if it were completely homogeneous, then how would action take place? It's sort of like, if you're Trinitarian, sort of like the idea of why have more than one, because you need to have more than one actor in order to affect movement, right? So if we think of Trinitarian as a quantum, superposition of several persons of God, those different persons coming into their activity, depending on different conditions, is a nice quantum mechanical way of thinking of that. And maybe this general relativity problem is just another indication of that, and not a Trinitarian quantum idea, but a general relativity, uneven distribution of matter, which effectively causes activity. And we've not taken that into account. We've taken a certain passivity into account into our equations, but perhaps that was wrong, and we should have had an activity, an active God, not this passive God waiting, who has set up the universe. That's not what we think of as the Christian God. The Christian God is an active God. So that's what I'm thinking today. Thanks.